Hello and welcome to chapter 8 of this series of videos where we look to build a 2D platforming game in Unity. So this chapter will cover player score and life system. In the previous episode, we looked at building the game's environment, particularly the platforms and the enemies. So today we're going to expand on that by introducing the score manager and the life system. So for the index of this video, we'll first take a look at implementing a score manager, following that a life system, and following that implementing a death mechanic for our game. Alright, so before we head into Unity, I'm just going to quickly show what Unity free asset we will be using today for our score system. So for our score system, we will just be using a simple 2D animated coin that we have downloaded from the Unity asset store. Nothing much to this, it's just the coin and sprites, but I've made my own animations on it since there seems to be a missing sprite upon download. Alright, so now let's head to Unity. So now that we're back in Unity, I've already placed the coins in the environment and already updated most of the things that you will see throughout this video. Nonetheless, I will still walk you through it. So firstly, I've already expanded on the platform area, going all the way up until that giant coin, which will be the endpoint for this level. Right, so just head back where the player is, and this is the coin sprite, where here's the animation of it spinning. Alright, just hit stop on that. So this is essentially just creating a 2D circle sprite and just applying the sprite to the sprite renderer. So very simple. And now let's head to the canvas where we have the score. So that was in the top left corner is where you're going to see it upon when we hit play. And all you have to do is create a text mesh pro from the create, where upon click you'll just input your text and that's it, and also put it on the pivot for the top left. Alright, just like I've said previously, the coin is just made from the Unity asset store, but should you want to create your own, just create an 2D circle sprite, add a animator to it, add the sprite renderer, and also add the circle collider. So there's the animator for the coin. It's just very simple, just heading into the spin animation. So that's basically all you need to do in order to implement a simple coin. So now we head to Microsoft Visual Studio, where I will show you the Score Manager C# script as well as changes to the player movement C# script for the score input and death mechanic. But we'll first focus on the score, and you need in the Score Manager using TM Pro so that we are able to declare the text mesh pro UG UI score text so that we can reference the text mesh pro component as well as declaring the score for the game, which we start at 0. So then we move on to the get score, where we'll just return the score. That's all you need to know. Then for add score, very straightforward, we're just going to add to the current score. Then subtracting, this will just be for collisions with the enemy, which we will go on further later. And lastly, updating the score in the UI by displaying the current score. So now we move on to the player movement script, and let's just find the components for the score that I've implemented. So here, declaring the score manager so that we have reference to it, and here also in the score manager, my fault, accessing the score manager, and we're just going to keep scrolling down until we reach here on coin. So when colliding with a coin, what it will simply do is just destroy the game object, and it will also display in the debug log that the coin has been collected. Then we're just going to add a score of 5, which you are free to update to how many points you want per coin collected. So now that the score system is out of the way, we can now implement the life system, and our life system will be similar to how Sonic's life system works, where if you don't have any coins and you collide with an enemy, that will be game over. So that will just mainly be our life system, and if you have current coin value, and you hit an enemy, you will simply get -5. So now let's move on to the collision with an enemy. So first, if the score manager is not null but the score is 0, this will be game over, as it will display in the debug log, and we will just simply restart the scene. Or else, if the score manager is not null but the score is not 0, we will just simply subtract 5 points. And also we have an else statement saying that the score manager is not found should there be no score manager. And following that, we also have a new addition, the death block, which I've showed in a previous video. So what this part of the code does is, no matter how many points you have or how many coins you have, it will simply restart the scene, because it will be counted as a insta death because you fell off the map for that portion. And there you go, in the debug log, player has hit a death block and game over. So before we wrap things up, I just like to say, for the resetting of game scene upon death, this will just be temporary for this video, as the next video we will implement a title menu, game over screen, and a you win screen, where we will be able to restart this level should any of those two happen. Alright, so let's just showcase what the updates are for this video, and that will be the score system and the death mechanic. So here you go, let's just drop right in. Let's try to not hit that enemy first. Let's collect some coins. Alright, there you go, +5, 10 now. Oh, we hit an enemy there. So 5, 0, and we're gonna hit him again, and there you go, game over. We've now restarted again. So let's just keep collecting coins, and we're going to test out the death block, which is right below this part of the level where you will just fall off. But we're just going to show that by just collecting as much coins as we can first. Alright, so now let's just drop to the death box, and there we go, we hit it and the level has restarted. So that's how the death mechanic will function, but in the next video we'll expand on that by giving a game over screen as well as a you win screen. Oh, I just hit an enemy there, so let's just restart. So there's a certain cooldown as well to when you get hit by an enemy. This is just to be sure that if you continuously hit them for a very quick moment, you won't lose all your points instantly. So yeah, there is a cooldown on it. Okay, there we go. Let's just grab that coin and let's just try to head to the level. End of the level, I mean. And there we go, we've reached the end of the level, and this giant coin is supposed to lead us into the you win screen, but we're going to save that for the last video in this series. So those two are the only thing that's left, or three I should say, the game over screen, title, menu, and you win screen. And after that, that will conclude the series of videos, and we have successfully built a foundation for your 2D platforming game. So this will be the second to last video, and I hope to see you in the final video to wrap things up properly. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.